It is my pleasure to welcome to the podium the 19th President of Northeastern State University, Dr. Steve Turner.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the groundbreaking for the new complex, the new building for NSU's Oklahoma College of Optometry. Let me just say I'm beyond excited, and for those of you who know me, this is it. This is beyond excited. And inside, I'm really giddy. So just believe that. I am so excited to be here with each of you and to welcome our friends, partners, donors, supporters, students, faculty, and staff to this historic event in the life of Northeastern State University. Before I make brief comments, I do have several special guests, and I will go as quickly as possible. But aren't we thankful this isn't at 3 o'clock today? And the breeze is okay, right? Okay. It actually feels pretty good. If you want to do the speaking, it's a little cooler right here. But let me introduce some folks. I always first like to start with my wife, Penny. Penny, thank you for being here. This will be a big group. I'm just going to call them the leadership team, faculty and staff, students, alums of the Oklahoma College of Optometry. Would you stand as a group, please? Let me acknowledge with this body that several of the faculty and others served on a planning programming committee for the College of Optometry. They spent 2.5 years. They went through several versions. So to those of you, if you are on the planning and programming committee from Optometry, would you stand? This is not the advisory, but the programming committee. Would you stand? And let's thank them. Thank you all. We have 2 members of the Joint Committee for Pandemic Relief Funding. $15 million of this $39.3 million went through that. We have State Senator from District 36, John Haste. Senator Haste. And over from Depew, from the 29th District, Representative and Speaker Pro Tempore, Kyle Hilbert. Kyle, thank you. I'll say more about their role in a little bit as the program moves forward. We are honored to be here and with this gentleman, the Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation, Chuck Hoskin Jr. Chief, thank you. The Deputy Chief of the Cherokee Nation, an outstanding young alumnus from NSU, Mr. Brian Warner. Brian. We have several officials from the state and the Cherokee Council. I will start here with our local representative from the 4th District, Representative Bob Ed Culver. I should point out that Senate Bill 8XX that really got this going, the House author was our local representative. So great job. From District 58 and Speaker Representative Carl Newton from the first class of optometry in 1983. State Senator from District 9, Dwayne Pemberton. Senator, thank you. State Senator from District 3, Blake Stevens. Some significant officials from the Cherokee Nation, Tribal Council, and others. We have first the Speaker, Mr. Mike Shambaugh. Mike, welcome. We have the former Chief and Executive Director of Cherokee Nation Businesses, Enterprises, our friend, Mr. Bill John Baker. I saw her a minute ago over here, Counselor from District 2, Dr. Kendessa Teehee. Over here, waiting a bit. I saw him come in, Counselor from District 4, Mike Dobbins. Mike, where are you? There we are. Thank you, Mike. We have Janine Taylor, the Treasurer for the Cherokee Nation. Welcome. Deputy Attorney General for the Cherokee Nation and the president of the foundation, NSU Foundation. We have Chrissy Nimmo. Welcome. Secretary of State, Tina Glory Jordan. Good to see you. Someone that we've done a lot of work with and appreciate his style, his negotiating, and he's got a big building project himself, the Executive Director of Health, Dr. Stephen Jones. Steve, where are you? Thank you. With us, we have the Chair of the Board of Regents for the Regional University System of Oklahoma, Chair Connie Riley. We have Regent Gary Parker and his wife Carol, both of which are 1968 alums of Northeastern State. Gary, thank you, Carol. Welcome. We have the Mayor of Tahlequah, Suzanne Myers. Suzanne is also chair of our alumni board. I just received a text before this. The former mayor, Sue Catron, was to be here. Her mother had a little bit of a health problem, is okay, but sends her regrets. But I want to mention her because she was very instrumental as we were going before the Joint Task Force for an in-kind contribution on all these roadways, utilities, all the way to the bypass. So I do want to do a shout out to Sue Catron for the record. We have Cherokee County Commissioners. I'm going to start with the one that's emeritus. I reached out to retired Commissioner Doug Hubbard, and I said, Doug, I've never really asked you for anything. Well, there's some dump trucks when we were cleaning out the town branch. But I said, the state wants to help us with the optometry, but they want local partners. What can you do? And Commissioner Hubbard, before he retired, teed it up. And so, Doug, we're so glad you're here, and thank you for what you did to help make this happen. So welcome. I saw one of these three, so I'm going to start with the one I saw, Mr. Bobby Whitewater. Bobby, where are you? Thank you. I also know voting in support of the contribution from the Cherokee was Cliff Hall and Chris Jenkins. So if they're here, I apologize. We have a group that worked with our programming. We have the College of Optometry Advisory Board that's been meeting since 2020. Where are you? Would you stand as a group if you're a member of the, Jay Hanna, this is your opportunity to shine. So you get to stand.
Good to see you all.
Other members of the advisory.
The Curtis salad is on the president.
That's an inside.
Sorry.
Never mind. We have a very important person to the day-to-day operations and the levels of its student engagement. We have the president of Northeastern Student Government Association, Ms. Asa Robbins. Asa, welcome. We have the executive director of the Oklahoma Association of Optometric Physicians, Mr. Joel Robeson. Joel. For those of us that were working with the legislators, every time we were at the Capitol on a big day, Joel Robeson was there. And I know he is known by senators and House members, so Joel, thank you, and thank you to the OAOP very much. We have board members here of the OAOP, the Oklahoma Association of Optometric Physicians. Would you stand as a group and be recognized? Any board members, or wave your hand. So thank you for being here. We have a couple of folks. Is Renee here from the Tulsa Regional Chamber? And Renee, are you here? Okay. Never mind. So we'll move. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking care of that. Let me introduce some people that I rely on so much in their 4 divisions to make things happen. This is a group that's worked behind the scenes on this project in every facet. And it is the NSU cabinet. I'll introduce all 4, and then if you would applaud, we have Dr. Debbie Landry, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. And while she's standing, she will retire tomorrow after 19 years here at NSU, and a public school teacher and a 20-year veteran of the Marine Corps. So Dr. Landry, congratulations and thank you. Dr. Jared Freeman, Vice President of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. We have, yes, thank you. Ms. Christy Lansaw, who is over all the facilities and grounds and construction. Welcome and thank you. And the gentleman that started this program, Mr. Dan Mayberry. Dan, thank you, Vice President of University Works. I'm almost finished from GH2, the architect. We have, I'm going to go quickly and you stand and then we'll applaud. Timothy Herzer, Associate Principal. Kevin Oler, Project Architect. Jacob Everetts, Architect. And Emily Sappington, Interior Designer. Would you stand if you're here for GH2? Welcome. And if I butchered your name, I apologize. From the construction manager, Flintco, you saw their tent, their trucks, and all of their handiwork thus far. We have Dave Coleman, Ross Peavy, Brian Grimes, BJ Fay, and Jared Phillips. Would you all stand? Flintco, thank you away. It's a big day, and we're so glad that you're here. Let me finish with my comments. And if if I missed, you're all important, but if I missed introducing someone I should have, I apologize. We've worked very hard to be comprehensive. Today is an extraordinary day at NSU. This ceremony is the culmination of an enormous amount of work that began 2,579 days ago. On June 6, 2016, now 7 years and 23 days ago, I was part of a team that traveled to Memphis, Tennessee to tour a new optometry clinic at the Southern College of Optometry. We were inspired by what we saw, and since that time we have dreamed and planned for the possibilities of what Oklahoma's College of Optometry could be. We would not be here today, though, without the unwavering, unselfish, and comprehensive support of several governmental entities, private donors, and Northeastern State University. I must acknowledge those who made the most significant investments and financial contributions to this endeavor. First, I have to talk about the investment of the state of Oklahoma. The state of Oklahoma, through the Joint Committee on Pandemic Relief Funding, teed up Senate Bill 8XX a year and a half ago, and then in May teed up Senate Bill 1188, both of which passed in a landslide, and those two measures provided a little more than $18 million for this. It's not a donation from the state, it's an investment in Oklahoma's College of Optometry. I've already mentioned certainly Representative Hilbert and Representative Newton and others. But for the record, I have to mention Senator Roger Thompson, the Appropriations Chair, and Chairman Kevin Wallace, the Appropriations Chair of the House. Senator Hall in the Senate. There were those that as things were moving forward, it takes an enormous amount of discussion to take a thought and a hope and a dream to become in statute, to be memorialized. And there were folks, so I do for the record want to make sure that their names are mentioned and they're thanked. And next I have to go to the Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation, Chuck Hoskin Jr. He's got a good memory, mine's failing, but I think he'll remember when I called him and I said, "Where are you?" And I did that to Chief Baker. And "Can we meet? I'm in town. Can we meet?" He said, "Yes, can you come out?" So I went and sat down, and he's got a little round table in his office, beautiful artwork. And he said, "Can I bring in Tina Glory Jordan?" I said, "Sure." Bring her in, and I said, here's what we've got. Here's the need that we have. And we've been associated with the Cherokee Nation since this program started in 1979. Can you help? And I tried to ask for the moon, and he almost gave it to us. But he didn't do it alone, Chief. I know he, too, had a lot of traps to run. He had a lot of conversations. But at the end of the day, Chief, you and the Cherokee Council and other leaders stepped up and provided $5 million for this project, and thank you so much. As you know, in the city of Tahlequah, we have two bookends, Northeastern State to the north and Cherokee Nation to the south, and in the middle is a vibrant city. And we were so fortunate that as Representative Hilbert and I were talking, he said, you know, what's the city doing? You remember that, you're the one that brought that up. What's the county doing? And I said, well, the county is stepping up, and I've got a call into the mayor, Sue Catron. And it wasn't long that I got a letter from her to present to a public hearing. And she talked about the critical infrastructure that they're putting in to give us greater access and folks coming in, wider streets, better drainage, moving the utilities, ADA sidewalks, all of those things. I've already said thanks, but I do want to thank the city of Tahlequah and certainly Mayor Suke, and I know that Mayor Myers will continue, but we appreciate their contribution to this project of $1.6 million. Yeah. I talked about the Cherokee County Commissioners. Thank you and Commissioner Hubbard for teeing up a $250,000 contribution. It's significant. Thank you. The Masonic Charity Foundation of Oklahoma donated $250,000. I don't know if there's a rep here. If there are, please wave your hand. But thank you to the Masonic Charity Foundation. And then most recently, through the board, through Joel Robeson and the board of the OAP, we received a gift of $100,000 from the Oklahoma Association of Optometric Physicians. Thank you. I'm going to go quickly to other large donors. I'm not going to give them amounts. Some are here, some not. But I have to acknowledge this person first. The first person that gave to this particular project was Dr. Isabel Baker. I sat down with her and teed up several initiatives, and Dr. Baker had the foresight, and she said, I'm going to bet on a sure thing, and I'm going to put my money in the new optometry building. And she wouldn't mind me saying, but she wrote a check for $20,000 to make this happen. So Dr. Baker, I know you're up there, and I know you have to be proud. So thank you, Dr. Isabel Baker. We have Patsy Nix Smith, the Nix Foundation through Jimmy Nix, Dr. George and Rita Foster, Bobby and Jane Christensen, Kate Stour Miller, OD, Drs. Allen and Erlina McKee, A&A Optical, Dr. Gail Burden, and Kyle and Drushia Tate. There are several other private donors who contributed to this project also, but thank you again for all of the donors. Today's celebration is also extraordinary because the state of Oklahoma, the Cherokee Nation, and county and municipal governments, along with private citizens, corporations, and charitable foundations came together to support a project that is both good and right. Everyone focused on building a much needed complex for NSU's Oklahoma College of Optometry. Partnerships and good faith efforts matter. And this morning we start the construction of a building that will match the reputation of the level of instruction and the level of patient care that it is provided here and has been provided here for decades. We gather together today to break ground on what has become the most expensive construction project in NSU history. I don't say that to brag, it's the world we live in. Certainly the scope of the project has changed in a post-COVID-19 world. But what this new building will do for the treatment of patients with vision problems and the training of the next generation of optometrists has never changed. The early planning, programming, and cost estimates envisioned a complex that was 101,500 square feet at a total cost, all in, of $33.3 million. Senator Hayes, that's what I pitched to you in the beginning. Representative Hilbert, the same. Due to significantly increased construction across the globe and supply chain challenges, the plan had to be modified several times. But today, with Flintco's help, we have bids on the street. I believe the bids come in today. They'll be certified probably in the next 30 days. But the modified plan is for 77,816 square feet at a projected cost of $39.3 million. Although the complex is about 23,000 square feet than originally envisioned, we're almost tripling the unusable square footage at the existing facility. Almost tripling. Because the current facility, there's only 23,742 feet when you remove the hall. So we have 23,700 for patient care and the academic portion. So this is a big deal. And by the way, did I mention that it's located, and we're glad to have received the gift so many years ago, but it's located in a hospital that on August 1st will be 85 years old. It was set up for 25 doctors and nurses, and many parts of it still look the same. Let me just say, we have many, many reasons to celebrate today. With that, to keep the program moving along, I ask each speaker to follow the program and come to the stage at the appropriate time. It is now my honor to introduce the chair of the Board of Regents for the Regional University System of Oklahoma, Connie Riley from Okemah, to provide her comments. Chair Riley, come ahead.